Okay, make Grimlock get you Pepsi with no sugar.
Okay, so this is a bit of like a neurotypical ass like analyzation of my one of my favorite other villains, Operetta, who is also the girlfriend of Ket Kershaw during Seafood Arc. Mostly she is inspired off of Marilyn Monroe and Taylor Swift songs, especially during the 2015 era. Look, hate Taylor Swift all you want. She has good fucking songs. The song called Fortnite is definitely one of my favorite. Okay, it literally sounds amazing, and then it just has a stupid ass title. I love it. It's goofy. It's my favorite. But if you asked me what one of my favorite songs from her in a like listening point of thing, it would probably be like that one song that goes like, "Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Am in the clear yet? Are we in the clear yet?" That fucking song that's like on loop. I don't know, it just kind of like it scratches the itch inside of my head that is like really good. Like, it's a good song, you know. Can't hate. I know it's trending to hate on Taylor Swift and all, but like, don't hate on me because I like her music, bruh. But yeah, also Marilyn Monroe. She is definitely one of my favorite Hollywood historical figures. She's just like, her entire story is amazing from start to finish. Starting off from like, where she was trying to, you know, like, get in Hollywood. She obviously finally gets her own, like, star in Hollywood and shit like that, right? It's like a rags to riches kind of story, and I fucking love it. And the fact that her house was almost condemned by some rich assholes who wanted to turn it into, like, a random-ass fucking blocky-ass apartment complex, that shit pisses me off. Like, she worked hard to get that place where she could feel safe in. And you guys want to fucking turn it into a goddamn 2020 looking ass blockhouse? Bitch, go to Minecraft, not a fucking famous person's house. Like the property itself is not cheap. They could have gotten something cheaper to create an apartment complex with. But yet they chose to buy something worth like fucking 6 million or some shit, at least that, which is like the estimate itself should be like in the like millions, and they could have gotten something like property cheaper. And then no, it's selective as fuck. They wanted to ruin her house, but obviously I think California, I don't fucking remember. Obviously the state that she lived in finalized that her home is a historical location, so the rich assholes can no longer condemn it, and I fucking love that. Like, oh, don't be greedy. You can't fly too close to the sun, especially of the person you're taking advantage of financially, bruh. Especially since that house has been used as a movie prop several times, given permission by those rich assholes, so like, I don't know, you're getting money out of it. Why do you want to fucking turn it into a goddamn blockhouse, man? I don't get it. But yeah, enough about Marilyn Monroe. One of the most like inspirations for Operetta's best friend, Flappy, is actually one of the Flapper Girls from the 1920s. I fucking love that the fact that most Flapper Girls in the 1920s were associated with mafia. So, like, when you see, like, a romantic story about a mafia man and a flapper girl, it's usually, like, rooted in actual history. And it's, like, it's so romantic, you know? It's taboo, but it's romantic. It's like, oh, I'm a famous actress who dances for, like, money and stuff, not in a weird way. And then here's my boyfriend who's, like, this guy who's feared among whatevers. I think that's really cute, you know? That's definitely one of my favorite tropes. But yeah, Flapper Girl is Flappy, you know? It's not a weird fucking name. It's just what they were called during that time. Like, Flapper Girls, you know? So I call it Flappy because it's kind of a funny word. You know, Flappy Bird type shit. And then, most of Operetta's, like, personality, like, besides Marilyn Monroe, she is mostly inspired by Taylor Swift, especially with her, like, whole, like, look, kind of. I mean, she is a fucking archangel, so I guess you can't really take too much from Taylor Swift. But she is, like, you know, points of her hair, like how she's blonde. She's got fucking lipstick on. I'm debating turning it to black lipstick or red lipstick to keep it, like, Taylor Swifty. You know, because that's her main inspiration, and I kind of want to keep that rooted in her. But obviously long blonde hair and whatnot. And then her little demon dress, I thought was really neat trait of her. You know, creating, like, a dress that kind of told her story-ish. I mean, she still kept her punk gloves and her punk boots and stuff, and then she's just got her little sleek dress. I don't know, it's like, I did redesign it once from her poofy little, like, punk rock outfit to that, because I feel like it would be more fitting that she would wear a more revealing look, since it is Hollywood, it takes advantage of women. I think that's just kind of reasonable to have. Obviously, it's not too revealing, because, ruh-roh, raggy, I don't need that. But yeah, yeah, and then her fucking wings on her head, and then her ankles. The ones on her ankles is symbolism for the fact that she will never be able to fly normally ever again. Like, so when she left when she left the heavens to go to Hollywood for entertainment, well, not Hollywood directly, but, you know, human entertainment, she lost her main wings that, you know, she fly with. She has her head wings and her feet wings, and they're perfect for, like, lowering herself in, like, a slow speed so she doesn't fucking fall to death. And that's kind of, like, symbolism, because, like, she is a fallen angel, so the only thing she can do is fly down, which is kind of fucked up, in my opinion, a little bit. But, yeah, also, she has, like, a disfigured, like, violin on her, left shoulder, and it's typically just hidden with her, like, her pink feathered scarf that she always wears. She has that under that, and she kind of hides it, because in her mind, she still thinks of herself as, like, an equal among Hollywood, so because of that, she's very often self-conscious about how she looks as an angel, despite being higher than the humans that she interacts with. She still thinks that she is lower because of this insecurity that her shoulder is not normal like the other girls. And because of that, you know, she hides it and whatnot. She also has, like, little pink, like, goggles. I'm honestly debating about, like, turning them to, like, heart-shaped sunglasses. But then again, I feel like the only heart-shaped glasses I can think of comes from Valentino, and I already don't need that in my life. So, probably just keeping it normal goggles or sunglasses, kind of like, you know, Taylor Swift sunglasses. But yeah, other than that, her main story comes from the fact that she is a fallen angel from the heavens, originally hearing music from Earth and finding it amusing. So she would fall from heaven just to, like, go to the entertainment, because she was so bored of fucking heaven, because, like, oh, everything is so pristine, everything is so clean, you know, there's nothing chaotic, there's nothing to look forward to. So, as an angel, she went down to heaven for entertainment without knowing that she could never return. So obviously she interacts and befriends the humans there. And actually, instead of, like, being an outsider, she mostly grew up with the society of, like, human entertainment. Well, not really grow up, I mean, like, age with, because she was already, like, 30 million years old by the time that she went down to Earth. So by the time she's, like, in present time of 2013, she is about 70 million years old. Which is kind of weird, you know. It's like, ooh, Ket's 19, and operetta is 70 million years old. What the freak? But yeah, yeah. Is also another thing to debate on is operetta's sexist, like, opinions about Ket, thinking that because he is a man, he needs to work to death, or else it's not a real man. Like, oh, you're not a real man. Oh, if you cry, you're not a real man type shit. She has that sexist belief onto Ket, and it's actually kind of burdening on Ket as well, even though he constantly talks about how he's the perfect person, whatever, you know. He is going to portray that, you know, he is the perfect person. He has no worries, and he has no, like, he has a lot of confidence in himself, but when operetta mirrors the sexist beliefs that he grew up with for several years, he starts to doubt himself in areas much like healing or smarts, even though he has a technical canonical IQ of 190, and he is the smartest human character in Morgantown. Sorry, it cut off. But yeah, operetta, although is an angel, she is the angel of safety. And obviously, because of that, she is able to take away that safety, and kind of like, they're both manipulative in their relationship. Ket being overbearing with operetta's looks, with operetta being overbearing with Ket's, like, beliefs in himself and overconfidence. He can be good as much as operetta wants, but he will never feel like he's good enough. And that's kind of the thing, because, like, it's the same thing with operetta, and they're both toxic to each other. They're still magnetized to each other, mostly because of the fact that Ket has a codependency on operetta because he's blind and practically unable to work if he tried to in a normal society, with the totem curse and the fact that he has no face. So, because he has no face, he doesn't believe that he can be for anybody else but operetta, because operetta accepts him as a faceless being, and operetta feels like there's nobody else for her besides Ket, because he accepts her as, you know, the sinful deity that she is, you know, an angel of safety, but at the bare minimum, you know, an angel that feasts on sin, which is, you know, kind of demonic as shit. Normal people wouldn't be into that. So I guess that kind of counts. I don't know. And, you know, that makes operetta and Ket feel as if they're meant for each other, despite their differences and their toxic beliefs. Operetta, although is, operetta in Dokimari is one of the most toxic, people in the comic that I'm working on for Dokimari, mostly because after Ket dies in Seafood Arc, and then Ket is reincarnated into Kusari, operetta basically is summoned by Kusari during a fatal gun battle, and Kusari basically, like, writes a angel of safety symbol on the ground with his own blood in hopes of summoning an angel to save him. But what he doesn't know is that he has summoned operetta, and because of this, she makes him pay with his soul to save him, but in doing so, she basically forces him into an engagement that Kusari himself is unable to hold up at times, emotionally and romantically, because he is literally just a stupid ass, like, held back, super held back fucking senior in high school, of all things. So, he can barely fucking read Braille, let alone, like, function in society, because he keeps cheating on operetta even after during that time. By the way, he's 19, so he's the same age as Ket. It's not weird. So he's like, he's like a douchebag, right? He's got all of this money that Ket didn't have in his lifetime, so he constantly messes up because he has the financial grounds to do it. His parents fund his little biker gang ordeal, mostly because he is blind and they don't expect him to live long in a normal society. Which is also fucked up when you consider that they do the same thing for Dee Dee, but Dee Dee is not blind, so they just gave up on him. Like, day one, also, Dee Dee is, reincarnated as, Daijobu, which is Kusari's twin brother. And initially, he actually dislikes Operetta because he sees her as who she is, basically like a fucking parasite that pretends to like Kusari, but then eventually he gets along with her as Operetta basically becomes like a JoJo stand for that biker gang, especially during the Cracked Pipe comics. But yeah, Operetta, during the time that Ket died and, didn't reincarnate, she basically went into a sleep and isolated herself for 7,000 years next to Ket's body at the bottom of the ocean, and then waited. And then because of that isolation, she became paranoid and overly, obsessed with the idea of Ket being the only one for herself, and that she has nobody to lean onto. And then obviously during that, she kind of gets fucked up. So that's why she was kind of toxic to Kusari. And obviously when Kusari is about to die during one of the biker gang arcs, he doesn't lean on Operetta for help out of fear that she would hurt him. And because of this, Operetta realizes what she has done to him and actually, apologizes and begs him to, let her help him because he's bleeding out and dying. And they finally mutually begin to trust themselves at that point because Operetta begins to realize her mistake. And because of that, she gets an actual human form despite being a blood angel form during the entire time she knew Kusari up until that point. It's a really complex fucking character because she's like, oh, I love human entertainment. It's probably complex. Meanwhile, human fucking lore, it's just it's a fun character to write because she's okay, so I made her originally, rushed after, I think, the day my great-grandma died, and I wanted some way to cope, and I thought of a way of writing Ket and Operetta getting together and eventually Ket passing as a form of way of saying goodbye, It's a little autistic, but you get the point, it's a little weird. It's a passion project at most. I don't make, and also, the story writing for Dokimari, it usually just comes to me out of nowhere, so it's not exactly planned. At least as much as I want to. But yeah, that's just Operetta, I guess.